Success isn't just about a great idea, it's about the network behind it. Welcome to the Ecosystem Effect. My name is Victoria Ross, and today I'm going to be sitting down with Meister, the boys of Meister.
The Meister boys.
Yeah, the Meister boys, yes. And on this episode, we're going to explore how AI, data, and automation are transforming modern marketing.
To get started on myself, my name is Sami. Roni and I co-founded Meister officially 3 years ago, but the concept has been around for about 6 years. My background is actually in engineering, and for the past 4 to 5 years, been focused on strategy around growth, and very focused on networking. So we were just in our event earlier. So we hosted an event with Design Week Huntsville.
Amazing event.
Great turnout. And I was telling them about how important it is to actually go to events, meet people in person, despite the fact that we are a digital marketing agency. The handshake is very important. Meeting up for coffee is very important. So there's a lot of value in that, making that personal connection. And I've probably met at least half of the business community in Huntsville just by doing that and working with the chamber. So there's a lot of value in that. And that's really what I try to focus on in Meister. And on the more personal level, I enjoy hiking. I enjoy training jiu-jitsu.
Nice.
Been doing that for about 4 years now.
Blue belt?
Blue belt. I've competed once, so I get to say I'm undefeated.
Okay.
Yeah, you got some gold medals.
Yeah, Roni and I went up
Big
to
gold
Nashville.
medals.
We actually branded my gi. The gi is basically what you...
With Meister?
Yeah,
with Meister right here.
Wow.
on the shoulder.
So one double gold gi and no gi. And other than that, I'm also planning, well, my fiance and I are planning for our wedding this summer.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So looking forward to that for sure.
That's so nice.
And I'm Roni, co-founder of Meister as well. Sami did discuss most of the things about Meister, but personally, I would say I'm more on the operational side of things and strategy and scaling up. Personally, lots of experience in the startup field as well. Already been part of several startups. One of them got acquired, and I worked with global brands like Zomato. It's like a delivery service company based out of India. I worked with them overseas, and then I worked with Mercedes-Benz. Got some awards as well working with them for entrepreneurship, and until we, you can say, not settled, because we're always on the look for more opportunities, but Meister has been a very stable kind of business that is growing steadily as we go with time. Personally, on a personal side, I like to cook. Since I moved to the United States, I developed this thing. I'm not sure why, but I guess the necessity of having to have a good meal, not just eating frozen. Oh yeah, the food here is good, but
well, Roni and I actually lived together when I first moved to Huntsville.
Oh yeah,
We started Meister here. So I don't cook much.
No, I see.
So, Roni was the chef of the house.
Yeah, and Sami was my testing test rat. Here, my test rat.
Oh, the rat?
Basically,
Sorry, test rat, lab rat.
Lab rat, yes.
Lab rat is. So Sami was the lab rat, and
I'll only take that because he would text me, "Hey Sami, the meal's ready. Come try it out." And he'd have it laid out on the island, on the kitchen island. And we'd go from one sample to the next just to see how all the flavors come together.
What was the worst thing he ever made?
Oh come on, nothing, zero.
You don't have to lie. You don't have to lie.
So I wouldn't say the worst thing, but sometimes he would just like buy the shawarma chicken from Trader Joe's. It's already seasoned and flavored. So
have to save some time.
But we did a lot of testing, but it was all really good.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I like doing that. Originally, we're from Lebanon, so Lebanon is really known for their good food over there, and they have a variety of things that really taste well. So I think moving here to the States, you're not exposed anymore to that kind of food, and you miss it. So I I try to improvise, especially my aunt has been here for like 50 years, so
Oh, wow.
thankfully she got the Lebanese cooking skills,
Yeah.
and she would always cook. Even Sami and I would visit her, and she would cook us a Lebanese meal. So I think from there it like started growing. We're trying to cook something to remind you of home and stuff like that. So it went from there to something more, bigger, like going into hamburgers and stuff like that. So cooking anything, but yeah. That's one thing outside of Meister that I focus on. Even Sami and I were super serious about opening a restaurant. The first food truck, going for a food truck as a first step.
With your food from your country, right?
It was, yeah, it was.
That would do well.
We thought about it. We were like going really serious about doing something. We even looked at the food trucks, met with the local Huntsville restaurant owner community,
Wow.
and we were really serious about it. But I think we wanted to settle for Meister for now, build Meister to be a self-sustainable company and go from there. But yeah, in conclusion, I would say outside of Meister, cooking is the number one hobby. I think.
Cooking, fighting.
Then
So if he doesn't cook well,
Yeah, it works.
I
Yeah,
beat him up. So
exactly.
it never happens, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I would say going back to Meister, we had this vision, right, 6 years ago that we want to be in the marketing space. Sami is more on the engineering side and the technical side, and then I did major in marketing. We both have a master's degree in data analytics, so we combined everything together. Data marketing, engineers like have a really good, I would say like they're really focused, they're really disciplined, technical.
Yeah.
So I would say combining all these skills into one place was our biggest priority, right? So we fast forward to 2000, I would say end of 2022. We were looking at the market. We saw potential after testing things out a bit that marketing would work, right? So we thought that Huntsville might be the best place to start this off. Personally, I studied at UAH, so I already had the connections, the PR going on over here. And I was privileged to be really close with Rigvid, the director of the I2C. And the first thing came up to my mind is how can we be part of the I2C through our company Meister? And this is when everything was connected all together. So we started Meister, I would say late 2022, with the idea of building a company that is not a typical marketing agency. We were trying to find ways to give this unique value, which is really tough to find for a marketing company, right?
Yeah.
Because marketing companies, all of them sell the same thing. Either they sell a website, social media, content creation, right? So we were like, okay, we'll sell those things. We want to keep because we are able to offer good service for that. But we went the different route. Instead of being a normal marketing agency, we became a marketing agency for marketing agencies. So yeah, so we looked at the market super saturated, and we started looking, okay, we are like a data hub, right? We have all these resources under our control. We have all these great talent that we have under our scope, So we're like, why not start getting other marketing companies to work with us? We would white label, outsource their work with us. And I mean, it's not that we invented this idea, right? But we expanded it under the marketing scope, the marketing umbrella. And from there, we started getting clients that are other marketing agencies, are working with them, doing their work, them presenting it as if they did the work, which is totally fine, totally legal, nothing wrong about it. And they're getting a great cost for it, right? Because now they don't have to commit for employees over like yearly wages and so on. So the idea grew from there, right? And
very unique.
and it grew from there, especially from Huntsville being a city that, in a sense, although there is a big talent of designers here that we have seen recently with Design Week Huntsville and everything, but I don't think it was presenting itself at least 3 years ago. Even today, we still don't see enough of it. So we wanted to disrupt the market. In conclusion, we wanted to disrupt the Huntsville market, push content and push design work that they haven't seen before a lot, and see how they interact. And I guess the interaction was amazing because first year, our designer projects were like 20% of our work, 80% of work was more technical, developing websites, maintaining websites. Then the second year, mid 2023, you won't believe it. It went up from 20% to 50% of our work design. So people are started noticing that, no, I would like to have a good looking website. I would like to have a website that that doesn't have so many white spaces, and it's not empty, and the pictures are from 1996, and you know, stuff like that. And this is where the Meister team came in, and we killed it. I think, you know, like
Yeah,
we did great work. Meister grew between 2023 and 2024. We grew around 200%, and we are a startup, so those numbers are in a sense realistic to us. They're not like you would see, oh, 200%, that's a lot. But because we're startup, like we started from scratch, and we reached this level very fast, so that we got this percentage. But yeah, the name Meister, I would say that's the funny
Please
story,
tell
right?
that story. Yeah, I love
Sami.
it.
Before we get into that story, I want to add to what Roni's saying, in that we've had to evolve a lot since we started. So we started in the I2C, you can say. So it's an incubator space, and our first client was actually a startup, right?
Nice.
So when we first started, I'm saying start a lot, startup started, but
Too many starts.
so many
But
starts.
that's good. You should always
Yeah.
start something.
So we thought, you know what, we can be a marketing agency tailored towards startups. And then we realized, in Huntsville at least, it probably wasn't the best move, despite being in an incubator space. So we evolved. We became a marketing agency, 2 marketing agencies, and we started focusing more on local businesses.
Yeah.
From local influencers like Erica to larger companies like Cepeda and Signalink, who are 100+ employee companies.
Yeah.
So we've had to evolve and grow, and not just in the strategy, but also in what we're doing. I mean, so many tools have come up since we started the company, where on the design side, you know, we're using, you know, Adobe XD to design everything.
And there was no AI.
And there was no AI.
And there was AI, but
it was very limited.
What's your favorite source of information in terms of tech?
Okay,
Specific.
so we're not sponsored by them. Not yet.
Okay.
no, but honestly, X nowadays is your best platform for news. Like, I know some people, there's a big debate over X and its
I get
ownership, but for me, X has been a great resource for me. Like, X was my #1 place to open each day in the morning, scroll through, of course, the pages I follow, and go from there, you know.
Yeah.
And TikTok is huge. Like,
It's fast,
TikTok
too.
is fast. Like, once you watch something about your interest, for example, in our case, tools that are being pushed into the market, you're gonna get every single scroll you're gonna get is something about that.
Yeah.
Algorithm is crazy.
Yeah, and Ronnie is
It
looking
is.
more at the socials. I'm more of a newsletter guy.
Yeah.
And at least on the AI side, because we touched on that a lot in our event. But there's a newsletter called The Rundown AI, and they're always talking about new developments in AI in all spaces, right? In all industries, even to where in some of their newsletters, they would show at the bottom what companies are hiring AI strategists or AI experts or anything in the field of AI. So it's definitely it's a great newsletter to subscribe to,
Yep.
and they're even showing you new tools that are coming out, all that kind of stuff.
And
That's
also
really good.
one thing, podcasts. We
Oh,
are in the
okay.
podcast,
Yeah,
right? So
exactly.
podcasts are crazy good with information. Like the one you watch, How I Made My First Million.
No, so My First Million,
My First Million. Yeah.
amazing podcast. I
Yeah.
mean, they're bringing on entrepreneurs, but they also talk between themselves. They're two guys who sold their companies for tens of millions. One of them, he's more on the e-commerce side. His name's Sean Puri, and then the other guy, Sam, I forget his last name, but he actually built a newsletter that he eventually sold for 30+ million. But they're both
A newsletter he sold for that much?
Is it HubSpot or something?
No, so HubSpot actually bought them.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But so they've built these companies and they're growing, and now they created My First Million, where they're bringing on all these entrepreneurs who are talking about what they're doing in the AI space, but also other industries. They're even bringing on, you know, a toy manufacturer from China who started in China, had pennies to his name, and now he's a multi-billionaire, for example. So you hear all these stories, right, which is amazing.
Yes.
So My First Million is a great one.
Yeah.
More on the technical side, there's Lex Friedman. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of
But
him.
also for social media, because I know this is a big topic now, I really benefit a lot on a personal level. There's so many, social media is where you find so many resources, right?
Oh yeah.
And
Everything.
most of the influencers talk about how you can make money on social media, how you can leverage social media. But the most person that really gave me good advice, I mean, watching them, is Gary Vee.
Oh,
So
yes,
he's
100%.
I know he's well known, but if you really follow his videos on YouTube specifically, if you follow his talks, he's a great insight for you to see what's coming up next. He's really good at predicting the market more than
Yeah.
giving you tangible. You might watch his video for 30 minutes, he might not give you one tool you can use to help you out in the specific reason you're looking for, right? But if you really listen carefully to him, he always gives you insights on what's coming next. And the biggest topic he was talking about recently is live shopping, like the old days, like QVC, like going on TikTok and live selling your product, like showcasing it live. So he's seeing it grow in China, and he's even dedicated a big section of his company to how to monetize this. And it's still early. Like his expectation is 2027, 2028 for this to hit the market really well. I really see big potential in it. Yeah, like live TikTok, you mainly see it from China as well. You see like Chinese products, like recently I was seeing the gimbals, for the phone gimbals, like they would place 30, 40 of them and they would be all moving. I don't know why this video keeps appearing for me. So
you keep watching it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. So yeah, this is one example of some resource you can look into. But let's get back to why we call it Meister. So
you can tell that Roni studied marketing and I studied engineering based on how we find our information.
Yeah, that's a great point. Actually, that's a great point. Although I'm a bit driven more into data, I'll be honest with you. Like I love data, but for such resources, why not use the same tool you are looking to how to expand on it from itself, right? This is how we think. Like using AI, for example. We recently tested out something on ChatGPT where we're saying that Chat, help us understand how we can train you so that you can tell us what information you need so we can give it to you so you can give us better results. And the chat was amazing.
What did it say?
It started asking me like, give me this information, give me that information, like what do you do? Be specific about this, and it would put it out in bullet points, like give me the names of the influential people you follow, or give me where you're located, what services imprecise you give, and so on. And started teaching itself how to give us better results when Meister talks to it and asks it for something. Like for example, when we do our videos on social media, we need script ideas. We go to ChatGPT, throw at us 50 ideas that we can then alter with them and do it our way. And it's pretty good, like very good. Carl today in our conversation, Carl, he mentioned that Claude as well is a great tool. It gives you better results. That's also amazing. ChatGPT is also very advanced. So all these AI tools also, this is another example. Like within the tool itself or within the system itself, you can start looking at things and training it from there. But yeah, I think the listeners really right now should
want to know what Meister is.
Yeah, what Meister is, you know, like we've been jumping off the topic.
Yes. So let's start with because to me, you know, especially this week with Design Week, I've met a lot of different marketers, and you guys are just different to me. But I want to hear from you. What do you think it is that separates you from the rest of the market?
Oh, sure. I mean,
it's the to your point. I mean, to what I said earlier, it's the combination here of you know different backgrounds coming together to really create Meister. Which before we get into that, I want to talk about the name because we've been we've been talking about the name.
I think this is great because now the listener is waiting to hear the name, right? So if you want to keep going with that conversation, I don't mind. I think this is
Meister,
great flow.
So the professional side of why we named it Meister is because Meister in German means a master in what you do. So a professional. And if you look at our icon, there's an eye in the icon that looks like a person. And in our personal icons / logos, each one of our eyes has a different personality.
Where we changed the hat.
Yeah.
Like
someone has a cap on.
Please go to their website and look at what they're talking about because it's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Or reach out to us through our emails because that's our icons as well.
That's
Ron is Roni at joinmeister.com or and I'm Sami at joinmeister.com.
Or simply hello at joinmeister.com.
Hello reaches both of us.
Okay.
So
HELLO.
That makes it easier. So that's a professional Meister name. The more personal side is we were really trying to come up with a name that meant something to us because when you're building a company, you want it to have meaning other than just the mission, the vision, and what really drives the company forward. The personal meaning and Meister.
The why, right? We spoke about it today.
The why. That's the why. So the why with why we named Meister is Roni and I used to go to a pub. This was back in Lebanon, our high school days, And we used to go all the time. We
It was
would-
legal to drink when they were in high school, by the way.
Yeah. Absolutely. In Lebanon, in Lebanon it's
totally
legal.
different.
So we'd go there. I mean, all
Although
the
we
time,
don't
every weekend.
advertise for drinking. Right?
Yeah,
Don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Don't drink and drive, obviously.
And don't drink if you're under 21.
Yeah. Or if you don't live in Lebanon.
All
Exactly.
disclaimers. All disclaimers.
The
Yeah.
drinking age in Lebanon is 18. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Just like in most other countries, except here in the
Mhm.
States, which is fine.
Yeah.
But so we'd go there all the time,
Mhm.
and unfortunately, Meister pub shut down. Economic situations just wasn't working out. So-
After COVID, everything crashed
Oh.
and
down.
we hadn't been there for years. Even to the point where when we were talking about coming up with a name, I was like, why don't we name it Maestro? And he was like, don't you mean Meister? I'm like, yes, Meister.
Yes.
That's what I meant. Because we had a connection to it, but we hadn't been there in so long, but we really wanted to connect back to the name. And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
so we
think
came up
he
with
had
Meister.
Too many drinks when he used to go there. The point he forgot.
I forgot the name,
Meister
exactly.
is Maestro.
Maestro.
Maestro is not Meister. It's Meister.
Yeah, but we have a lot of amazing memories there
Yeah.
with our
Mhm.
high school friends. Ronnie met his wife there,
Yeah.
so
It's amazing.
it's in our hearts. So
Mhm.
we decided to keep the name going.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's very
So
perfect.
so yeah, you see, and this is like the beauty of marketing. You can say in a sense where you're combining the professional side of things, which is the skillful person and what they do, which is the Meister meaning officially in the German language, and then you're also combining it with the sentimental value of giving the emotion and the connection of how are we connected to Meister name in specific
Yeah.
as well, which is our memories, our high school memories, our friendship, our people that we know over there. I mean, we knew the whole place, right? It was more than just a place you go to. So we put
Yeah.
everything together. We built the name Meister, and it's really a good name, right? It's
is.
it's catchy. It's Meister. It's nothing that you see over here.
Mhm.
We intentionally in our logo and our name we didn't include any rockets, okay? Because
Oh,
I know
yeah.
it's the mainstream
We're
over here
tired
too.
of that.
We tried.
Yeah. Although we tried the logo with the rocket, but we changed it after a week because we wanted again to disrupt the market. And I'm stressing on this word because we literally this is the goal of our marketing, right? So that we can prove to ourselves and to our clients, in a sense, or potential clients, that we want to disrupt the market in your favor, right? So we try things out, we test things out to make sure that us and our clients are successful to reach our business goals, right? So,
Yeah.
To go back to your question though, what
Mhm.
differentiates Meister other than us collaborating in basically different forms of thinking to come up with ideas? It's our team as well. I mean, we have two full-time developers. Shout out to Alex and Romy, and a designer, Jasmine. So Jasmine's been with us since day one. She actually helped us come up with the Meister logo and has worked with us for most of our
Nice.
clients. So, and Alex and Romy, we had to probably go through, what would you say, almost 50 developers to finally come up with. So
Really?
we've interviewed a lot of people. That's why actually right now on our website
yeah.
we have Meister talent.
way more.
Because we have
I saw that.
we have a pool of talent,
Mhm.
really qualified people, whether it's in the website development, graphic design, even on the customer service side. Basically, any service that can be done digitally, we can provide that because we've interviewed so many people, and we've just gone through developers
Wow. That's smart.
like crazy until we managed to put this nuclear team together that we communicate very well with. Ronnie's on the operations side, so he's dealing with them on a daily basis in our morning stand-ups. And I jump in when I have to, of course, because I'm more focused on the other side. But they're very strategic in meeting deadlines and collaborating with us and making sure we get the job done right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not just on the marketing or call it website development side. They also build software. So we managed to build a team that can build software as well. We've worked with the Huntsville Chamber of Commerce and building their breakfast and business system.
Yes.
Breakfast and biz system. Let me say that.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've been to that event, but
I haven't, but you guys told me about it. I
yeah,
did
so before it was all done on paper, very archaic. What did we do? We
Literally.
digitized it. So
Yeah.
now you show up, you can do everything the attendees do everything through their phone. They scan a QR code, it randomizes their seating for them on their phone, it does everything for them. So we built that for them.
Wow.
Even here at the I2C, we built the parking pass system.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that we can do now because we went through a bunch of talent until we were able to build the team that we have now.
How long did that take?
I would say the past 2 years we're still learning.
Yeah.
Like it didn't finish there, right?
Alex has been with us for 2 years now.
Yeah.
So
We have
Alex
a
hit
solid
his
team.
2-year anniversary a couple weeks ago. So
Wow.
We have a very solid team, and I would say this is the reason why, as I mentioned, we are where we are right now, right? Because mainly the team is performing more than what is expected from them, and they're doing it because they love what they do. This is the most important thing. Like, they find good reasoning in what they do and good passion to it to keep improving themselves. Like, our developers didn't have AI knowledge in a development sense before, and now they're going through these courses. They're trying to develop their skills in AI because now it's the future is AI for what we see, at least. So this is just one example on how these guys and the team are pushing into developing their skills, even on a personal level, through Meister, of course, but to make it better for us and for the client. So this is where one differentiation is the team is great, right? Second is our flexibility. The way we operate is not by the books, let's call it this way. It's not, we don't operate in a corporate sense, right? We operate in a flexible sense that gives the client flexibility, where they can pick the package they want, where they can pick in some cases also the budget. I wouldn't lie to you. It's not always the case, depending on the project and the complexities of it. But we work with the flexibility model, where we don't like saying no. I mean, of course, many situations and projects don't match our style, and they don't match what we do, and we say no to that because we don't want to give you out a product or a service that it will not return for you, in a sense. So this is another thing that we don't see in the market very often, is this flexibility model in our industry, where we're like trying our best to be flexible with the client, let them also lead with us, right? This project, and then we do the rest. We're more the team that does the job, right? We're more on the end where ask us, you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within your marketing umbrella, and we will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the sense we go by. So this gives us a lot of success going with that route and delivering projects to basically win this client and let them win as well. It's a win-win situation. That's how we go by.
And that's the internal and call it client-facing differentiation. We're very client-focused, but also we're very internally focused and working with our team. But also on the the sales differentiation, and Roni made this point earlier, we try to disrupt the market however we can, whether that's through our own campaigning or through campaigning for our clients. But just to give you one example, the content that we're pushing out through Meister, nobody else in Huntsville is doing that. With the way we're talking to the camera, the captions, the animations, and we're noticing that others in the local market are also trying it. Not as successful, but still trying. So there's a disruptor right there that we're trying to influence the market here in Huntsville. And even in today's event, right? I mean, with Design Week Huntsville, we on very short notice we put this event together, and we just put a strategy in place of having an ad budget set aside to promote the event. Work closely with Design Week Huntsville to make sure we have the content to promote the event. We brought speakers on, both of them were our clients.
And the style was different, right? You don't see the style more often. It's not like we sat down and we opened the panel. It was more integrated presentation between us and Erica and Carl, right?
We'll get to that, but just leading up to the event, right? And making sure that as much a lot of people know about it, basically, right? So we tried our best to do that, and collaborating with Erica so that her followers, she corrected me, 800,000 impressions on a monthly basis.
I mean that's different than followers, but impressions is really important.
She has, let's just say, I said she has more than 15,000
visits
to her website. So
per month.
I think she has even more than that now. And we're actually working on a new website with her. But so we worked with her and making sure that her followers are also looped in. We worked with Carl. He's very active on LinkedIn to make sure his LinkedIn followers are looped in. And so we got all of this engagement just boiling in the spot to make sure that we had a great event, and it really was.
It was.
And then to Roni's point, you were talking about the way the event went and how we interacted with the people.
But also we want to note something out, that although we think Meister does an amazing job, one of the most reliable companies for marketing in Huntsville, but also there's other good companies here, right? And we don't want to offend anyone.
You guys all have your thing, though.
We have we have our own personality. That's the not normal personality you see in the marketing field in Huntsville, right? We didn't take. and to that point as well, like our clients, we were not aiming to get government contractors, which is the biggest thing in Huntsville, right?
Literally.
We were aiming to get the other sector, the other industry, the more of the small
Private.
shops, the private industry, the businesses that are trying to make it happen without being part of the government system that we have in
Yes.
Huntsville, right? So this is another differentiating point that we did in the market, where we pushed for that sector, and it was super successful.
Yeah.
Like there are also businesses, there are also people who are trying to make it, and people who
They
have
need help
budgets,
too.
and
Yeah.
so this is another thing that we went through the market. It was successful.
Yeah, and it opened new doors for us in the sense where we approached it differently, because the strategy there is different. Because with a government contractor, their main thing is to win government contracts.
Literally, yeah.
But when you're trying to rebrand a company that is a government contractor, they have a different goal. Like in Cepeda's case, it was more talent retention and then talent acquisition, because it's very important for them, right?
Yeah.
So we tailored our strategy around that and their customers' community. So it was very important for us to really go into this open-minded and then really understand what they're looking for. So
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So I do have another question, because I feel like you guys are so good with AI per the event. So how do you balance utilizing AI like at the highest extent, and then like also keeping it like creative and unique and like having that human touch? You know, like how do you balance that? Because I very often see people do AI too much, where it's it's like you can just tell before you even read it, you know?
Definitely.
Like, so how do you balance that?
I'm gonna give you also a secret I'm noticing recently. Whenever you see someone in their email, there's this dash. You know, there's a long dash that I don't think anyone can even figure where it is on the keyboard to even type it. There's like a dash that you use between words or sentences. ChatGPT loves this. I don't know why.
I always
but
ask
for
it
for some reason, ChatGPT loves this long dash. I don't know why, but if it's saying like, "Hi, my name is Roni, dash, I'm co-founder of Meister." So whenever I see emails that I receive that have this dash, I know 100% they're done by ChatGPT. So that's a great question, by the way. And the spoiler alert. We are in the making now of establishing a new company that is, I don't want to take the spotlight off Meister for the moment, but we're also going into the AI world, specifically into AI business solutions through Anchor. So we have been testing this company out in the market for the past year. We have a sister company, in a sense, from all the way from Europe, and they have been in the AI field for 10 years. So they've been there before even ChatGPT became a trend. So they're really good at what they do. They have big clients in the government and in the public sector as well, and private sector in Europe and the area there. So we collaborated together to bring an Anchor to the US, basically under the AI business solution. So this will be launched very soon. We're still in the making of it, testing it out in the market. So just wanted to throw this out since we're talking about AI now. But again, Meister also utilizes AI into some of the services we provide under marketing. And to make it more human, in a sense, you just don't have to use 100% of the outcome of it. This is like the easy, simple answer for it, right? For example, we were talking about how we create scripts for our videos, right? And we do definitely use ChatGPT for that, because what's better than generating 100 ideas, going through them in like 2 hours, rather than sitting down, thinking, brainstorming, and so on, you know, which saves a lot of time. I'm not saying you should take the element out of brainstorming, because it's really important, especially for creatives. But at the same time, you have this tool that's throwing at you 50% or 60% of your mindset, because you taught it how to do that, and just shuffling through it and giving your touch. Like, I wouldn't lie to you, some of our script today throughout the workshop was built with ChatGPT as well, but 100% none of what we said on there, especially for Sami and I, was literally what ChatGPT told us to say. It was given our touch, it was given in the sense, just the bullet point that was there was discussed as well, and elaborated more to that point.
And that's more on the ideation and called script writing side, but even in the design and development side, obviously we use AI, but we have a team, right? We have a team of human beings, right? That use They use AI as a tool to help them become more efficient, right? Or to help them come up with ideas on the design side. But you can never just create a design using AI
Yeah.
and then just say, that's
But
what I'm
you
going
know-
with. You can, but obviously,
Yeah, yeah.
but you,
Carl
it's not that you
said,
shouldn't, you can,
There's gonna
right?
be something wrong
Yeah.
with it.
There's, right now, yeah, it's getting a lot better
Yeah.
though, right?
Mhm.
So,
Carl said a great point, by the way, to what you're saying. He said in our Design Week Huntsville workshop earlier, he said, AI will not take your job.
Yeah.
There's no robot who's gonna go push you off your desk and sit on your seat, right?
Yeah, but
Someone who knows how to use AI
Is gonna
better
take your
than
job.
you is gonna take your job,
Yeah.
which is exactly what you're asking here and what we're trying to answer is that AI is your friend now. Yeah, but also to drift a bit away of the AI conversation, testing out content as well organically and getting feedback from your audience and from the platforms you're on also gives you good insights and gives you a push towards how to understand your market. Like I know we were talking in a sec about how AI also gives you these ideas and gives you how the route you need to take with, let's say, content creation, right? But also, if you are able to create content and post it organically, which what Meister does, by the way, 100%. We post stuff organically. We don't put any ads on our stuff for one reason only. We want to get this feedback out of our audience to tell us if this video is good or bad, right? And if it's good, then we place the ad on it. So instead of sitting and brainstorming and getting 3 or 4 people out of our team and Sami and I sitting there putting in like 4 or 5 hours just trying to come with this campaign idea. Now we started posting organically online, and what happens here is that once we find this video is great with our audience, this is the video that we're gonna push, because you have social media here with like 700, 800 thousands of people that are looking at your content, at least in our district, in our area, and you can get this feedback from them. And they have now a feature, by the way, Instagram, that you can do a test reel. So you post it without posting it on your actual platform, and it does a test to non-followers only. So it only reaches non-followers. So this should give you an insight. Okay, how is my content working with non-followers? This is how you can also shift or drift out of AI and do new techniques that the market is requiring right now that can push you as well to reach your goal, right? Give some efforts on it. But you can always use AI and you can save some time and you can get some also.
At the end of the day, it's about reaching real people.
Literally, okay.
Which is something you should never forget. And I believe like with nowadays we're reaching that point. Like we're forgetting that we're trying to communicate with actual humans, right? They still have emotions, they still have a think process they go through, they have a decision-making process they go through, and this is where the design comes in, the user flow comes in, the interface comes in, and how we touch them with the videos and connect with them is where it comes in.
Yeah, so cool. You guys are so cool. I just want to say
thank
that.
you.
Yeah, seriously. But so one thing I want to talk about is, the 3-phase process you talk about on your website.
So in branding specifically, as we mentioned earlier, like 20% of the branding iceberg, in a sense, you remember we had this image pulled up, the iceberg had the top layer, which what you see, the visible layer. This is only 20% of what the branding is. So usually when we go to events or when we talk with our clients, we ask them, what do you think branding is, right? And what do you think branding is? Like, just ask me.
Branding is the way that it's strategically thinking about how you want to be perceived. That's how I think about branding.
So that's a great answer. Most people think branding is the logo. They think it's the color palette, it's the font, right? And it is. I mean, it's great. It's great answers, but it's not what branding is about. Right? And 20% of branding is basically those things: the logo, the color palette, the colors, and so on, so on, so on. But 80% is what goes into this brand, from the positioning to the strategy to the who the audience are. And we have crafted several steps that we use with our clients, where we ask them, we talk with them about. We have this long form that we fill out with them on our discovery call. That we ask them. Step 1, know your audience. Number 2, number 1 is know your purpose, right? Know your purpose. Number 2 is know your audience. Number 3 is know your market. Understand your market. Number 4, 5, and 6, they're all rotating around differentiation. How to build your differentiation. And number 6 is how can you basically, after crafting all those steps before, how can you craft your voice now? How can you craft what you're saying? Make things more human, right? So when you finish all those steps, then you can start talking about the logo, the
exactly.
color palettes based on this, and this is in the
Mhm.
branding. For the website, we prefer you have a brand. If you don't have a brand for a website, we don't even recommend going with the website. We recommend go with the brand first. Have your
Mhm.
brand guidelines ready, because you definitely need the brand guide with whatever you're doing. Like most businesses
Literally,
don't
yeah.
believe in it, but it's really important because you pay for that brand guideline once, but
And
your
use
team
it
will use it.
forever.
Yeah, well, as long as you have
Yeah.
the same brand, your team is gonna always be using that brand guideline. Whether it was
Mhm.
internal team or even yourself or even another company that takes your marketing,
Mhm.
they will use a brand guideline. So for a website, we always ask, have a brand, please.
Yeah.
And then after that, we go into building the website on Figma, right? It's our biggest design tool that we use right now, so we can build the structure of the website, mobile and desktop. And Sammy was touching on those points.
I was. But you specifically asked about our process
Mhm.
of 3 phases. So obviously,
Yeah.
first phase, discovery and strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So that all ties into what
What
Ryan
he
was
just
saying.
said, yeah. So
Right,
all of
so-
that is the first step, basically.
Exactly. So sitting
Okay.
down with the client, really understanding what their needs are, their mission,
Mhm.
vision. Right.
Yes.
Second phase, implementation and engagement.
Mhm.
So obviously, that's actually creating the stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Creating the brand, creating the website, creating all that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. And then the third phase, ongoing support and growth.
And this is really important, by the way. Like,
It is.
supporting and keeping things consistent. That's the name of the game.
That's why we
Yeah.
build the brand
Yeah,
guideline,
this-
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
on the
Yeah.
branding
Things
side,
consistent.
super important to have that guideline so that they can either sustain themselves by using this guideline, or obviously since we've already built everything from scratch,
Mhm.
that we're continuing to support them.
Yeah.
And then also that's on the design side. On the technical side,
Mm-hmm.
website needs maintenance,
Yeah.
right? It needs upkeep depending on what you're doing. If it's an e-commerce platform, it needs more than others. So it just depends. But yeah, the third phase, ongoing support, super important just to make sure that you have a business, it's up and running,
Yeah.
it's digitally present, and it's
Mhm.
keeping this message or this brand
Yeah.
that's been created from the start.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that you guys, because the way you just spit out those 7 steps like that, I'm assuming that you guys early on figured out what worked and you sticked to that, huh?
Yeah,
Like you
definitely,
didn't deviate.
definitely, yeah.
That's really cool.
It's really a trial and error at the beginning. When we
Mhm.
established the business, we jumped into things faster, but then we realized no, we need to take a step back and
Fine-tune.
figure it out and fine tune everything that we do as a process. But as I mentioned, this is our generic process for everything we do, whether it was a website, whether it was a brand,
Mhm.
whether it was even content creation. Like there's always the strategy phase that has to happen. Regardless of what the service is being provided, and
Yeah.
this is a key factor in what Meister does. And if you want to conclude it, what Meister does with all this stuff is
Mhm.
we're really good at 2 main things. We're really good at design and we're really good at technology. So
Yeah.
design, anything that falls under the branding stuff, the
Mhm.
content creation, anything that requires the creative of things, right?
Yeah.
Because creative nowadays is a really key word for driving everything. If you have
Mhm.
any business, and you have to be visible online,
Yeah.
you have to do things to be digitally present.
Mhm.
You have to go through this process. You have to have the creative first. You have to build your presence through a website, through a system, whatever your case is,
Mhm.
and then work on the ads, work on how you're gonna channel those people in, because we see so many clients spend
Yeah.
so thousands of dollars spent on advertisement, on everything, and once this client reaches to their website, they leave immediately.
Mhm.
We had this client as well. Shout out to him, Rich Ortiz. He has the Alchemist X Nutrition brand.
Oh yeah.
And
Website is so good.
yeah, so
Yeah.
previously
Showed
We
everybody
won
in my
award.
family.
We won an award on that.
Yeah,
one.
we won,
I know,
we
yeah.
actually won an award for them, and it has the best flow possible for an e-commerce shop, right?
Mhm.
It takes you through the whole process from the header, which is, as mentioned in the workshop, again, referencing that 3 seconds for someone to take a decision, am I gonna keep scrolling or not? And
Mhm.
I know we're making it sound like as if someone is deciding in 3 seconds, but it's not the case. It's just all natural. It happens naturally,
Yeah.
right? When you open a website, you're gonna scroll a bit, you're gonna leave it after 3 seconds or 5 seconds because you're not interested anymore.
Yeah.
So in that case, if you go through that website, you will see the flow of things. You will see their product, big pictures of them at the header,
Yeah.
at the hero section. Then you scroll down, the product's flying with you, it's floating around, so you can always see it. Wherever
So
you go on
good.
his website, you see his product. This is the most important
Yeah.
thing. We're psychologically playing on the mind that this product is what you need to see wherever you go.
Yeah.
And this is just an example on e-commerce. We did so many projects that we implemented those psychological methods and those
They
marketing
work.
methods, and they definitely work. They
Yeah.
definitely work. They increase your conversion rates. They increase your engagement rates. They
Mhm.
increase anything you can think of through marketing related will definitely increase with consistency and with a strategy and a plan that you implement over your brand, your website, system, and then moving on for your content and so on. So
Yeah.
Fundamentally, somebody has a problem. We come in with a lot of questions that through trial and error,
I wanted to touch on that.
we've come up with the right questions to try and solve these problems.
Mm-hmm.
And then also to Roni's point, we implement them.
That's what it's all about. Is I feel like a lot of marketers don't understand that you have to ask a lot of questions. You can't ask too many questions. Like you literally can't.
Yeah.
Like the more information you get, the more you can help them, because even though they're answering the questions, they don't know how to fix those problems.
Yeah.
You know, so the more you know, the more you can do.
And you know when we started and we were going through this trial and error, you kind of want to jump into something and try to solve it, but that's not the right approach.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're asking questions. Even if they're not the right questions, it helps you to come up with with a solution, or at least put you in the right path to get there.
I agree. Well, that's all we had for you guys today. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. We will be doing a part 2 in a few months, so we can hear more about Meister and all of the good things they have coming up. They did mention they have a new business they're going to be rolling out soon, so next time we have them, hopefully we could talk about that. And please let people know where they can follow you guys online or see your website. You guys need to see the website. It's the best website on the planet.
Thanks.
Literally.
First of all, thank you for having us, Victoria.
Yes.
I mean, you let us do most of the talking, which is
That's
amazing.
easy on me.
Yeah, but it's because you asked the right questions. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And to all the listeners, you can find us at joinmeister.com, and you can reach us at hello@joinmeister.com.
And our socials are the same. Join Meister.
At Join Meister.
So Instagram, Join Meister. Facebook is Meister. And LinkedIn, I think it's all Meister.
It's Meister, yeah.
TikTok is Join Meister. So
if it's not Join Meister, it's Meister.
Yeah.
Okay, it's pretty much Join Meister.
You'll enjoy. I really recommend you guys go there, enjoy some of Sammy's videos. One of his videos is being thrown off his bike, so you might enjoy that one.
A lot of interesting videos.
I saw that. Yeah, you
not
can't
my
stop
idea.
watching them, literally.
Yeah.
Like, that's the point that I'm assuming.
Well, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Victoria.
No problem.
And we'll see you in part 2.
Yes, see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.